This is a 1999 Chaparral 233 Sonesta. 233 means it's 23 feet and 3 inches long. And you can see that the bow, the bottom of the boat is in very good shape. It's clean. This is the front swimming platform on this bow rider. And here is a swimming ladder that pops down over the front and the main anchor. You can also see that it has 2 headlights. They're really good for coming in the evenings to dock. It sits on a dual axle Eagle trailer. It has a porthole. It's in the head, so you can open it up if you want to let some fresh air in. The gas filler, 30 gallons. The hull is a modified triple hull, and it has it's called an extended V. It extends backwards further than a standard boat. It helps trimming to trim the boat, and it helps it in curves. You can see the ski hookup. It'll hold multiple skiers and multiple tubes, and those vents are for the blower to blow out any fumes out of the engine compartment before you start the engine. It's an Alpha 1 Merc Cruiser outdrive with stainless steel 3-bladed prop and a stainless steel skeg protector. And there's the ladder for the rear and the swing platform. Inside this compartment that we're looking at, you can put ice and soda pop or whatever you wish to put in there, and right now we carry an auxiliary anchor in that. There are tie downs both the back corners and one in the front. The trailer is in good shape, the tires are in good shape. This is the clean out for the head, and you flush the head into a storage tank, and then it's cleaned out through vacuum at a marina. This is our antenna. It's laid down. When we're in the water, we put it up because we have a ship-to-shore radio that has weather channels on it. This is a side door for getting in off a dock. If you are docked and the dock is to your starboard or right side, that's very convenient. You can also get in and out off of the front or the back swim platform. This is the deck of the boat. We're looking at the steering wheel and the gauges. Full complement of gauges, including a trim gauge. It tells you how well the boat's trimmed. This gauge on the far right goes with this switch, which is the depth finder switch. It's really handy because you want to keep this boat in at least 2 feet of water, preferably more, but at the very least 2. It's also good because if you have passengers you're going to let out so they can swim, it's nice to know that you're not in water so deep that when they step off the ladder they're going to go down to their neck. On the engine control, there is, at the top there is a switch that trims the motor up and down, the outdrive, so that you can get the best economy with it. Below the steering wheel is, down below there is the ship-to-shore radio. It also has a couple of weather channels on it. When we're on Lake Erie and we see clouds coming up, we always turn on the weather channels, so we'll know whether we should head for shore. Unfortunately, the radio and cassette combination do not work, hasn't worked for several years, so we didn't really miss it. I just mentioned that we boat on Lake Erie. This boat has never seen salt. It's always been in fresh water. Straight ahead is a door that folds back and locks in place. When it's up like that, you can close it and close up the windshield so that you can have a nice ride in the cockpit area, and it keeps the water off of you. We also have isinglass that fastens on the windshield and comes all the way around to the other side, and then it fastens on the rear canopy so that you have complete dryness in rough or windy weather. Underneath here on the starboard, the right side, under the steering wheel is an opening. It's a large storage area. It's much larger than what the camera shows, but what you can see is the mooring cover. Whenever we are docked and done for the time being and boating, or when we have it at home, we usually have the mooring cover on. There is the stake, one of the stakes that keeps it up so that it has 2 points, one on the front and one on the back, to help keep water from gathering. That's the normal position for this. There's the lock on it. This is the bow. It's a bow rider. The seat on the left I have intentionally opened and put it down in so that you can see the storage. The right is exactly the same. On the floor is the ski storage. You can put multiple sets of skis and swimming devices down in there. Under the seats we usually keep our life vests. You can store anything you wanted to. This little door opens up so that if you are docked and you're on the left side of the dock, the right side of the boat is against the dock. It's a good access for getting in and out of the boat. You can also use the front swimming platform and the rear swim platform to get on and off the boat. Now here is the seat that's out. And I believe down in there you can see that shiny rail there is the rear light that fits in the hole in the back. I'll show that to you. And you can see the hose that comes up and is a freshwater shower. There are 2 headlights, and this step to go up onto the swim platform is also a cooler, and there is a drain, and you put ice in there and it automatically drains out. You don't have to clean out the ice when you're done. I showed you what's there is the front ladder and the anchor. There are cups holders all around the boat. This one the seat does not open, but you can get stuff under it quite easily. That little seat comes out so that people don't have to step on a cushion if you're going in and out through that doorway. There's a filler pad that goes over that step, and I think you can see the notched areas that I show well on the left hand side. Across those go pre-made dowels, and then there are filler cushions. There are 2 filler cushions that go across here, plus the one over the step, and this becomes a bed or a sun lounge. Now when the front canopy is up and it has to be attached to the back canopy. Then there is a tent. It's like a pop-up camper that you can add all the way around the boat. It has screens in it, and it's really great for camping out. My wife and I have done this several times over the weekends and have had a fantastic time. It's a great way to get to rest because it's very restful and peaceful on the boat. I'll close up this compartment. And we'll open up the head. The head is a porcelain head. It flushes. It goes into a storage tank. And in the first video you saw the clean out place where you clean out the head. This is the sink. This little button turns on and it provides fresh water for the showers and for the sink. The smaller opening over by the faucet is for trash, and there's a wastebasket that fits under that, and then of course this opens up to for the sink. The sink only hits this one side, and all the water goes outside of the boat. Under this seat is a very large, very deep storage. All the storage are covered with carpet, and they're all dry. Under the sink is storage as well. I'm going to go back up to the front. I want to show you some damage. We don't know what happened. We don't know where it came from. I'm sure it's something that we did, but we don't remember it happening. There are a couple of areas on this seat. I don't know if they're going to show up in the video. That one will. It's a little bit larger. Maybe dog claws, because we would boat with and take our dogs with us. Now this rear seat has some stains on it. They're from mildew stains, because sometimes when it's put in winter storage, there's always chemicals put on the boat to help keep it dry, but it's not perfect. I'm going to open this up so we can see the engine compartment. The engine's underneath this seat. It has gas assist struts, so it's easy to lift. And you might notice that there is a channel that goes around this, and it's got leaves in it. Even though this boat was about 4 weeks ago, it was completely cleaned, detailed by professionals. It was scrubbed, it was buffed out, it's been waxed, a couple of coats of wax on it. The engine is a 5-liter Merc Cruiser, 240 horsepower. You can see that red canister, that is the automatic fire suppression system, which has never been used, fortunately. And there is a switch. That's a dual battery system. The switch has a battery 1, battery 2, all the batteries in an off position. And then to the right of the motor is an inverter, a commercial size inverter. It converts 12 volts into 110 volts, and when I'm on the boat to sleep, I have sleep apnea, so I have a CPAP machine, and it provides me with all the electricity I need. One of the nice things about having a dual battery is that you can run off a battery, one battery on the inverter while you're down, and the next day you're going to have a fresh battery that you can use. I've never had any trouble with the battery being too run down, but by having the extra one, that's why we have two, so that we're never stuck. That little cubby hole is for an ice chest, and it's got tabs that keep it in place. You can see a speaker there. There's 2 speakers in the front and 2 speakers in the rear for the stereo. That has a little lid that pops up, and that's where you put your back light, your mooring light. And cup holders. That is for filling the water. the freshwater tank. And then here's one in the front, and this one's in the rear. This is a freshwater shower. Press the back of it, and it will spray water. If you're curious about the width of this boat, it's 8.5 feet. That's called a beam. It's 23 feet 3 inches long. Has a capacity of 14 persons. I hope that'll come into focus. Come on. 14 persons or 2,000 pounds. This boat will pull 2 skiers, multiple tubes at the same time. Give us a call if you're interested, and you can come and see it by calling for an appointment. Thank you for your interest, and I hope that someone will pick this boat up. It has less than 75 hours on the boat. That means that it's only got, for most people, it's got less than a year's worth of use on it. We were very conservative with the boat, even though we did ski and tube with it. Most of the time we would take it to a place and anchor it and play in the water. So it's been very well cared for. Every year that we take it out of the water, it is winterized. Matter of fact, it's still in winterized condition. That's why the batteries weren't in it. And every year when it's winterized, the engine oil is changed, the filters are changed, the plugs are inspected and changed. So the oil in this boat and this engine looks like you just poured it in, and it's ready to go. Thank you.